Well, hello, Victory family. Welcome to another week of updates. We've had yet another week. You have survived and you are thriving and doing good things. You are turning your pits into peaks and sorting out what God wants to do in your life. And we continue to pray blessing over you and your family and all that you're walking through right now. We know it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody right now, but God is in control. We've been waiting to see first the ground after the snow melts. So yay, we are there. And so we're grateful we can actually begin to do some stuff outside, but also with the removal of the snow comes the arrival of the junk in the yard and all that stuff. So for those who are bored and you've been waiting for a volunteer opportunity, we are going to do next Thursday afternoon, May 7th, at 1 o'clock, a church yard cleanup. So we've been in contact with the city and asking them what we can do. We actually wanted to just organize some big work parties and go around the city. They're not super in favor of that due to the COVID-19 thing. They are not organizing any major things as well, though. So they're encouraging what it was that we were wanting to do in the first place, which is mobilize you. So we will start with our church yard. Next Thursday, 1 o'clock, we need 12 able-bodied adults. So if you are one of those 12, if you could contact the office and let Jody know, she'll put you on the list. We have shifted into, we've got feedback from the province. We are able to function as an essential service, which means we can still have 15 people inside and a work party outside and kind of cross over. And we can even have a couple extra people inside throughout our work week, not during our services, but during the work week. So that's great, gives us a little bit more movement there. The next part then is we're gonna break it down to family units, you guys going out, and we just wanna bless our city. So we've been doing the prayer walks and the prayer drives, but now we can actually put some practical stuff to it. So we're gonna make this a little bit more fun. The city has suggested that we can go ahead and do our own neighborhoods, the parks in your neighborhood, that kind of thing. And so we are gonna challenge families and groups of people. If you're single, you can find other people that are in your neighborhood. If you're not from the same family unit, you have to stay 2 meters apart. But if you are the same family unit, go out. We have put together these cleanup packs here at the church. So if you need supplies, you can come and get them. In the supply bag comes 5 garbage bags, gloves for everybody, and a fresh brand new copy of your prayer targets. So we're going to suggest that while you're out there cleaning up, you are praying over your neighborhood and blessing the neighborhood. When you're done, you can either bring the garbage bags back to the dumpster here at the church, or if if there's not that many, you can leave them for your normal garbage pickup. Or if you need extra, there's crazy stuff that needs to get picked up, contact the church and Pastor Les will come and do a pickup and do a dump run for you. So we will hook you up with that. Now here's the fun part. We are going to ask you, if you are out doing your community cleanup, take a picture, take a selfie, whatever, of your family doing that, and send it to the church, post it on our Facebook page, in our group, something like that. We just will count the entries that come in. And for the entries that come in on Friday, May 15th, we are going to do a draw for 3 family fun packs. And so that's going to be goodies in there. It's stuff for a movie night, just a fun package for your family. So it's good for us to be honoring our city, praying over our city. It's also fun to win stuff. So be ready for that and jump in. Final thing for this week, Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock, there is a praise and prayer for the peace event going on. It is a 1-hour just kind of in your car gathering. It's something that has been approved. As far as we can tell, we should have no issues with any legalities on it. It's been approved to go ahead as long as everybody stays in their vehicles and follows the guidelines. But 1 hour of prayer and worship and just a few words spoken over our region and over our city and over our province in the middle of this season. So if you are looking for the get-together outing, 1 o'clock Eastlink parking lot. Everybody's going to be gathering in their cars. If you are staying in your neighborhoods, whatever, tune into Reach FM, 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, May 3rd. And it's just going to be a great time for us as a district to come together, pray, just minister over our city and over our region. So something to look forward to. All right, little update and what you will hear from me on that 1 hour broadcast. Really thinking about this process that God's taking us through in the middle of the season. This is not easy, but it's serving a purpose. And I came across this quote from evangelist George Mueller. He said, if we desire our faith to be strengthened, we should not shrink back from opportunities where our faith may be tried, and therefore, through trial, be strengthened. Oh, how many of us have been praying for strengthened faith, increased faith, that we would grow in the Lord? So let me just read that again. If we desire our faith to be strengthened, we should not shrink back from opportunities where our faith may be tried, and therefore through trial be strengthened. I think this is so profound. In this season, God is doing something in us. He is developing something in us. And there is something about pressing into him in the weakness, in the stretch, in the squeeze, in the fire, in the shaking, pressing into him that develops something in us that can't come any other way. It's that building up of our faith. And so again, 2 Corinthians 12, 9 and 10 is where the Apostle Paul says he's talking to God about his weaknesses and the stuff he's struggling with. And God speaks to him and says, my grace is sufficient for you, and my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Therefore, most gladly, Paul says, I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in needs, in persecutions, in distresses. Wow, I take pleasure in. Yeah. For Christ's sake, for when I am weak, then I am strong. And so he finds this place. He's like, wow, I would rather be empty of self so I can be full of God. And that's where the perfect strength is. D.L. Moody puts it this way. He says, when a man has no strength, if he leans on God, he becomes powerful. That's where the strength is. And so one more thing, just as we finish up today, Matthew 11, 28 to 30 in the Message Bible. It says, are you tired, worn out, burnt out on religion? Come to me, come away with me, and you will recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Isn't that good? Watch how I do it. How does Jesus lead us? Learn from me the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. And that is the goal. In this season, I believe some of us, we entered into this. I mean, who would have known that life would change over the course of days, that things would just totally shift? But how satisfied were you before this happened? How free were you before this happened? How joyful were you before this happened? How fruitful were you before this happened? I believe in this season, God is walking us through. He's showing us we're bumped into our weaknesses. We're bumped into the edge of ourself, and we're finding his strength. And he is wanting to show us how to walk in the unforced rhythms of grace, that we learn from him this final line, I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn how to live freely and lightly. So that is my prayer for you and your family this week, that you would come and lean into him, that in your weakness you would find his strength, and that you would learn to live freely and lightly as he's intended us to live. So bless you. Have a great week. We'll see you online.